Hey everyone, this is Peter McPhail with United Country Lifestyle Properties of Maine. This is a series, our off-grid series. In cases this is the first time that you're watching. And on today's episode, we're going to be talking about safety when working on your off-grid cabin. For those of you who haven't watched, I'm 3 miles off the tarred road. So I mean, if something happens to you, you're not going to call 911. AAA is not coming out. So talk about safety today. I'm going to talk about wells, my water supply, and our septic system. So before we get into the well and septic, I just have to cut some firewood today. I've got to get a little bit of snow off the roof. And safety-wise, make sure you have the right equipment, but make sure you have somebody here with you. You know, it's not something you want to do those types of chores by yourself. So gonna cut some firewood first, then we'll take a look at the well and the septic. So I have a drilled well here at the cabin, and it's about 115 feet deep. And some of the questions I've seen so far in the comments, what does it cost for a well? As of today, it's about $15 a foot to drill, plus it's $15 a foot for casing. Now the casing, they're required to go a minimum of 20 feet, and that's pretty standard, and then drilling beyond that. So 115 feet times $15, and then 20 times $15. And then once the well's drilled, obviously you're gonna need a contractor to come in and excavate to run the line into the house. You're gonna need a deep well pump. Now in these off-grid situations, research your well pumps. I think it's a slow start well pump or a slow draw, so it doesn't hit your battery system real hard all at once. That would be the best way to go. So the frost here, that was another question. The frost here is running anywhere from 4 to 5 feet. So you can't see my well, but I've kept it buried with the snow over there. And my water line that runs into the cabin, I've piled snow on top of this. In the summertime, this is my driveway, but I've kept the snow on top of it to insulate the water line because I wasn't here during the installation. This cabin was already built, so I don't know how far they ran the line down. I don't know if they had ledge that they had to come up. There's certainly ledge in this area. So one thing you can do to compensate if you can't get your 4 or 5 feet, and I would probably do this anyway, is put some rigid foam, extend out 2 to 3 feet either side of the line, cover that, and it'll keep the frost from penetrating. So in Maine, we've got a great water table, and the water here is fantastic. The laboratories in Maine recommend that you shock your well once a year. And what does that mean? Basically, you bleach your well. They sell these well disinfecting kits. And that's for coliform bacteria, not E. coli, but coliform. Most people can drink coliform bacteria and not even know the difference. But that you shock it once a year, it just cleans it out. But that's what they recommend. And I do test my well for bacteria once a year anyway. Here at the cabin, we have a bath and a half, and we have a gravity-fed system. And this is on the south side of the house. With septics here in Maine, to get a septic design plan done, which is your blueprints to hand to a contractor, it's about $450 to have that done, and the plans are good for 2 years. You can have a stone bed system, gravity fed, which is the least expensive. And I would say a 2-bedroom stone system, I haven't priced them in many years, but it used to be $6,000 to $8,000 for a stone bed system, 2 bedrooms. If you go to the plastic biodiffusers, those are a little more expensive. The footprint of your leach field is a little smaller. And then from there, we have concrete biodiffusers, or infiltrators, I think they're called. That takes the least amount of footprint of land to put in. And with those, you can actually drive heavy equipment over them. And so that's what I'm standing on here is our leach field. Now with the tank, one thing with the tank, you can put in, they do recommend to insulate the top of that as well in these cold weather climates. Put your rigid foam over the tank and maybe towards the line going towards the cabin. And the other good item you could put in there is they have a screen that you can put in when the liquids leave the tank towards the leach field. They have a screen that you can put in that can keep stuff out. If somebody puts something down there that shouldn't be going down into your septic, that'll keep it from going out and messing up your leach field, costing you thousands of dollars in repairs. So obviously, you only want, your water going out into the system. So you're flushing your toilets and stuff like that. You don't want a lot of grease going down. I clean all my dishes and I keep the grease out of going into the sink, into the septic tank. And any other items you do not want flushed down the toilet, other than your normal natural stuff. So that's about it on septics. Gravity fed's a bit way to go. Pump systems, not that common in your off-grid situations. You'll see more pump systems on your lakefront properties where you've got a slope coming down to the lake and they have to pump up to the leach field. Those are very expensive systems. Freaking sheet of ice up here. What a mess. So we talked about safety. This isn't the best thing to do. This roof is all ice. Rick Terrio did a video on snow removal on roofs. Rather than reinventing the wheel, we'll put that link in down below. So now that I have all my chores done, I wanted to show you all some of the scenery in the area. So come along for a look. I wanted to share one of my favorite spots. I'm about a mile hike from the cabin and it's about 25 degrees today. It's actually balmy weather compared to what we've had the last couple of days, but just a pretty spot on the stream here. This is another one of my favorite spots. It's about a mile and a half from the cabin, and there's a deep hole right in here. Great place to sit. Hot weather in the summertime. And I saw a massive snapping turtle come out of here this past summer. Just a beautiful spot. On the hike today, about all I'm seeing is squirrel tracks and chickadees. One of the things about Maine in the wintertime, the sky after the sunset is absolutely beautiful. And you really probably can't appreciate it from this scene, but it's like a violet purple sky over the hill. And then the moon's coming up at the same time. And we got a snowstorm coming in tomorrow. So just getting some wood in, getting ready for that.